Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Alec Cole-Hamilton referred to the travellers and Gypsy community as being disengaged from the political process. Well, in the 1995 Perth and Kinross by-election, which brought Rosanna Cunningham her parliamentary debut when she won that from the Tories. One of the things I was given to do as a campaigner in that by-election was to go and talk to the travellers who were just outside Milne Thought. And I found a group of very well-engaged people who had some very focused and relevant questions to ask of the person who'd called their door to ask for their vote. We had an animated discussion, followed, I may say, by a very welcome cup of tea and a biscuit. I'm sure that while I did meet a Conservative voter among that group, I use the singular word. I think the rest of them were quite clear. He will, if permitted.
Alec Cole-Hamilton.
I'm very grateful to the member for giving way. I wasn't trying to suggest that the Gypsy traveller community are not engaged politically. The inference is among the political classes that they're not engaged politically, so the politicians don't try to reach out to them.
Stewart Stevenson.
I hope between us we've made the point that at our peril do we neglect the involvement of anyone in our society, including the Gypsy and travelling community. Now, of course, as my name is Stewart, it would be perilous for me to be disconnected because, of course, when my father was a GP and the travellers used to come for the berries and then later in the year for the tatty howkin, there were three names came to the door. The McPhees, the McAlindons, and of course the Stewarts, who were a well-established Scots travelling family. And I have a wheen of people in my family called Stewarts, and I have McPhee in my family as well. I don't know if these were travellers in either case, but I certainly can't disregard the possibility. Key thing, of course, is that these people exhibited that we should take tent of in particular. These people were very self-sufficient. They could teach us a lot about how to make the most of their circumstances and their attributes. The rest of us often lie back. Those who travel and seek work and success where they can find it are actually much stronger people in certain ways than we are. Kevin Stewart made reference to Jeannie Robertson. Well, I, of course, in turn, will instead make reference to Belle Stewart from Blair Gowrie, who is a very well-known Scots folk singer from a travelling family. And just to illustrate how prejudice works in rather curious and irrational ways, she, in the early 1960s, went to the Sidmouth Festival to sing at the invitation of the Sidmouth Festival. And among the people attending there were New Age travellers, not travellers in the traditional sense at all. And they didn't believe that Belle Stewart could possibly be a traveller because she was far too clean. And isn't that another example of the kind of prejudice that was embedded in the people that she met there? Belle Stewart's biography was written by her daughter and absolutely captures the travelling spirit and the spirit of Belle Stewart. It was called Queen Among the Heather. Presiding Officer.